tuned into.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
And welcome back to the show, of course. I'm your host, Mike David, and joining me today, please welcome my guest, Amy Satori. Amy, how are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. How are you doing?
That's great to hear. I hope you had a happy new year.
Yes, it was nice. Thank you.
Awesome. And as always, why don't you start off with first putting out your contact info or whatever is the best way for my audience to reach out to you for after the show.
You can go to Amy Satori, that's spelled AMYSATORI.com. Definitely look me up on YouTube. Search me on YouTube. I've got a little pink lotus as my logo. And then Instagram is really fun. I've got some great conversations going on over on Instagram if you guys want to join me over there. And all my contact information is on my website. So, and it's pretty much everywhere. Instagram, underneath all my videos. So yeah,
awesome.
Reach out.
Excellent. And I just want to give a quick reminder to our audience that we are actually taking callers throughout this show. So if you would like to call in and ask Amy here a question, you can definitely do so by calling 631-627-3703. Once again, that number is 631-627-3703. Feel free to call at any point during the show, and we'll get your question answered. And now, Amy, of course, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We always do look forward to hearing more insight and having you share more information with us. But for those out there who are first time tuning into you for the new year or just may not be as familiar with you, if you don't mind, just going over what it is you do exactly and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I consider myself to be an intuitive spiritual teacher. Life has taught me a lot, bringing me to this place. But basically, I'm a pet psychic. I am a spirit communicator, medium, every name that you want to put out there of anybody who's woo-woo, that's me. I do healing work. I can talk to your body. I can talk to inanimate objects. I can talk to anybody deceased or living. I can tell you what your boss thinks of you. I can tell you which of your friends are trustworthy. I could help you navigate which of your paths is best for you, which location would be best for you, which job would be best, and why. Basically, if there's anything that's going on in your life that isn't happy, then bring it up with me, and I talk to your spirits and my spirits together, and they give me a message to help you out in whichever way. I don't claim to know everything. I do have a lot of really great tools, but I'm just open to whatever spirit has to say and has to offer. And I've had a lot of bumps and bruises throughout my life. I've had a very traumatic past. You could look up the video Amy Satori and the word trauma, and a video will come up that says Amy Satori shares her trauma to help divine feminines. If you want to watch that video, you'll see just how tragic my past is. But I made it through to help all of you guys, and I believe that that's why we go through all the stuff that we go through is to essentially inspire and help each other.
Excellent. I just think it's so cool that, you really go the extra mile to help individuals and you impact people in such a big way. Now, of course, you're someone with a lot of experience and a lot of passion. What is it that makes you so passionate and gives you that drive to help others in this way? Would you say it's because of your own challenges in life and you have that understanding? What would you say?
I think I was just willing. I've had people in my life kind of try to push me toward the forefront and to help others, and I was like, no. I don't want anybody attacking me. I don't want anybody to have anybody against me. And I think I finally just got to a point where I would just kind of surrender to it, and I was like, I do have a lot of useful, helpful information, and it's, maybe who cares? Maybe just who cares? Maybe I just share the information and see how it goes. And it went very, very well when I did that. And I think it just started picking up momentum, and I just kept squashing any kind of fear that came in my way and just kept saying, okay, I'm willing, okay, I'm willing, okay, I'm willing, over and over. And honestly, nobody was there for me. Nobody was there for me during my hardest times. So, you know, I had to learn how to pull up my bootstraps and really kind of trudge forward. And I, you know, now that I can help other people, I am happy to. I have a podcast that I do for free on Sundays, and this show also for free, but I do also do consultations on Zoom and Skype all over the world all the time as well. And I'm also working at the Lighthouse Bookstore, contracting for the Lighthouse Bookstore every Thursday through Saturday. If you guys ever want to meet me in person, you could come meet me there, at least at this point in time. So, yeah, I would just say that, you know, life pushed me into it, just kept pushing me into it. Instead of resisting, I was just willing is all. I remember, let me just say this, I remember being very, very scared and intimidated when they made me the featured, you know, psychic at the Lighthouse. I was trembling. I was like, do you mean people are going to come line up and ask me questions about, you know, like what they should do with their lives? I was so intimidated that I thought, you know what? All I'll do is just, when they sit down before me, I'm just going to pay attention closely to whatever spirit is saying and just convey that information. And that's worked out for me ever since. And that way I've been able to stay out of my ego and trying to act like it's all about me. And I just share helpful information for whoever's sitting in front of me. And last weekend at the Lighthouse, I had a lineup of people trying to get on my clipboard and trying to get time, and they were practically fighting over me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? So yeah, it's really kind of escalated quite a bit since I started this a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago.
That is incredible. Now, when you hear, you know, these stories, you know, when people open up to you with these events that happen to them, or maybe some of the trauma they experience, how does that affect you? Do you gain perspective sometimes? Do you connect with people a lot more? What would you say?
I would say that because of all the stuff that I've been through, I have a lot of compassion and no judgment. And I think being self-aware, as I have had to become, it really helps me to see the commonality between everything that they're saying. It's like it doesn't matter whether they're talking about molestation or rape or murder or whatever has happened in their lifetime. I see it all as kind of the same in a way. And so I really have a more of a bird's eye perspective. The compassion element is there, but there's also an element of a bigger picture, having been enlightened for like 6 months, years ago. So I also see who we truly are beneath all of the drama and all of the chaos of the world and the 3D experience. Everybody living in form and existing in form. And I help them to see that, and it gives them peace. It helps them to see that there's something so much bigger than what it is that they've been through. I don't know if I answered your question, but
yeah, for sure. And now, of course, there is a lot of people out there that have gone through many traumatic things, from relationships, from childhood events, and things like that. And it seems that there's a lot of people that struggle getting over some sort of fear or gaining certain confidence back. When you see people that are so deeply affected by their past or a traumatic event, how do you connect with someone, and what do you say to people that are suffering from so much hurt?
Well, I try to take a look at, for one, I try to figure out what it is they're telling themselves that they're still believing about it. Because honestly, when you look at the bigger picture, anything in the past really doesn't exist anymore. So whatever has happened, I help them to see what it is that they are, that they're running back through their minds over and over and over again. So it may be like, I'm not worthy of love, or it may be, I will never be treated right by someone, or it could be, I can't trust life, I can't trust this world. So I help them to identify whatever that fear is, and then we can sort through it. And once you can be grateful, once you can learn to be grateful about those things that have happened to you, it's like they release their hold on you. I have this exercise I have people do that's called Thank You, God, for My Misery. And so we go through and we see, thank you, God, that my ex cheated on me. Thank you, God, that I got totally manipulated. And thank you, God, for all of the bad stuff. And then we come up with 10 to 15 advantages or benefits as to why that's a really good thing that happened. And once they can turn it around and start seeing it differently, then they can let go of it, and it doesn't have a hold on them and doesn't have power over them anymore. And it doesn't even matter what the tragedy was necessarily. It's just how they can work through it to see the truth underlying it, which is that basically life is neutral. It's very peaceful. It's harmonious. It works. We're all like living as wild instinctual animals, and they in the wild when they get eaten and stuff, it's they may have feelings. They may be like, oh man, that was my cousin that just died, and they may mourn it and stuff just like we do, but animals don't make a big story of it that lasts for lifetimes, and they won't be like, never go near water again because cousin Bob died near the water or something like that. Human beings are really, really good at doing that. They wrap up these big stories and make themselves scared to death about everything. So I just help them to work that out and become more instinctual and to realize their nature better. And their nature is pure peace beyond all of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, excellent points there for sure. And now, of course, Amy, I do have more questions for you, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get more information with Amy Satori. We'll be right back.
Do you want better health with natural solutions that work? East Wind Acupuncture, a 20-year traditional Chinese medicine clinic in Chesterton, Indiana, does just that, offering acupuncture, herbs, massage therapy, and nutritional support. East Wind has helped thousands of people eliminate symptoms and regain health. They offer a comprehensive health review, Chinese medical exam including tongue and pulse diagnosis, and customized treatments designed for optimum results. They also offer educational programs, lifestyle classes, and workshops. For more information or to schedule your free health consultation, visit the website ewacupuncture.com or call 219-395-9928. East Wind Acupuncture, restoring health naturally. Aloha to all you lovebirds out there. Are you thinking about a destination wedding? Let I Do Hawaiian Weddings help you realize that dream. We specialize in Hawaiian destination weddings. Our unique knowledge of the islands and vast experience with amazing locations will help us create the destination wedding of your dreams. We can help you celebrate your love for each other with a sandy beach wedding, flower lay and bouquet, photography and videography, limousine transportation, hula dancing, ukulele music, and a beautiful dove release. We can even assist you with marriage license and online paperwork. I Do Hawaiian Weddings is all about love. So visit us on the web at idohawaiianweddings.com or call us at 808-330-5555 to realize your dream destination wedding in Hawaii now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the Satori Show on the planet the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
And welcome back. Of course, I'm your host, Mike David. Joining me again is Amy Satori, an intuitive spiritual teacher. Just want to give a quick reminder that we are still taking callers, so if you would like to call in, you definitely have time to do so by calling 631-627-3703. Once again, that's 631-627-3703. And Amy, of course, before the break, we were discussing about trauma and how people are affected in such a big way. And, of course, ultimately it leads them to a lot of times to you. I want to ask you, how valuable is it to have a professional such as yourself by your side, what would you say are the main benefits?
Wow. Well, somebody intuitive like me can really cut to the heart of the matter, because your guides and your higher self know so much better what's best for you. So you can really, you can save a lot of time by going to somebody who's intuitive in what they do, and especially somebody who isn't real jaded by life, you know. Also, because of my enlightenment, I have delta waves in my voice, and it relaxes people. And the people I work with at the Lighthouse laugh, because they always have to make sure there's Kleenex back in my booth, because you know, people that come to me feel safe. They feel. I had somebody come to me recently who said she was considering being a dominatrix, and you know, I just, no matter who comes to me and about what they're coming to me about, I will listen with a completely open heart and an open mind, and I will be looking out for their best interest, period. End of story, whatever this is about. And I just tell them what will best support them. But yeah, I've always got Kleenex back there. And, you know, when you have somebody like a confidant to help you through life in this way, it's like having a best friend who's super intuitive, who you don't want to lean on somebody like me too much, but being spotted by someone like me is a really, really smart idea. Before I did this job, I didn't used to do this, and I don't know why I did it. It's a brilliant idea. I say that all the time. Like, I wish I would have known back then that there were people like me. I didn't even really think about psychics. I was in the corporate world, and I never would have even thought to do something like this. But man, I can't tell you, like, people, like, I know a pro golfer who improved his game dramatically from what I told him from Spirit, and he's making a ton more money now. And, you know, I've known people who've gotten really awesome relationships and really awesome just upgrades in life in all areas, in work and relationship and everything. And so much more enjoyment out of life, even their sex life. I mean, I go into their bedroom and I let them know what's going on that's kind of throwing a spoke in, or putting a stick in their spoke, so that, you know, like, say their partner isn't real comfortable saying something, I can tune into what it is that they're feeling and thinking, and then I can bring it up so that it's now, you know, the elephant in the room has now been addressed, and then they can talk about it, and I can feel into the best approach that they can take to talking to that person, you know, to ease the mind or whatnot, to kind of open conversation up. So,
gotcha.
Very beneficial.
Yeah, I could definitely see the benefits there.
But, well,
and it's,
I just got to say this, though, too. Having said that, you got to be really careful who you go to, because there are a lot of really, like, psychics who will put something in your head, like negative stuff, that you don't want to go to somebody who's just going to blurt out that your father's going to die, or blurt out that, you know, you're never going to last, or something like that. I wouldn't do that to people. That's another reason they trust me. I would give them the information in such a way that I am completely, like, emotionally supporting them through whatever that is. And I will not tell them something unless they ask, or if I feel like Spirit's really prompting me. Like, I knew this guy whose wife was going to die, and I, of course, did not want to put that idea in his head. So although I knew it, I didn't just blurt it out. So I'm very responsible that way. But what I did say to him is, when this wife and this kid, you know, when you're enjoying that life with these guys, just soak up every single minute. And if I were you, I would learn how to do some emotional tools, to deal with your feelings. So he didn't know what that meant, but I made him write it down, you know.
Yeah, that is an excellent point there. And it is really cool that people are able to trust you and really benefit from everything from working with you. I wanted to ask you as well, you know, what have been some of the feedback or some of the results you've seen just from working with individuals? Are people typically surprised?
They're relieved. I would say that's the word they say the most. You know, oh my God, I'm so relieved. It's like, you really heard me, you really listened to me, you really understand. I feel so much compassion from you. I had a couple people visit me last week and say that they even felt as they walked into the bookstore that there was like a calming presence there that was drawing them in. A lot of people even come in off the streets and are drawn, and they sit down before me and they say, I don't know why I'm here. I just felt like I had to come talk to you, and I don't even know what about. So is there anything Spirit wants to tell me? So yeah, I've had people get over some really big fears. I really help people kind of come into their stardom also, come into their power. I have a celebrity series on my playlist on YouTube if you guys want to check that out. It's basically helping you guys come out of the shadows and start getting out on stage like I did, and start like just being yourself authentically out in the world however and uniquely you can. And so a lot of people have started doing that. I've given some people some incredible ideas for their businesses, and they've come back and said, oh my gosh, it's going so great. So I love hearing their progress. Relationships have improved. Relationships have stayed together. Relationships are broken up for the better. It's funny, too, because people will come to me and they'll be like, we just broke up. And I'll say, congratulations. Because I know behind the scenes that people are breaking up generally right now so they can come together with their true love. So that's just because I'm tapped into the collective of true love relationships. So I have my pulse on that as well. So it's really funny, and then we try to figure out who that person is that they love, and it's usually somebody in the past, that would like to come back as well. So I help those guys, find each other too. I love my job. It's so fun. It's so cool, and it is very rewarding. And I have on Instagram, I have people who write me on a regular basis thanking me, and I put all those notes on Instagram for people to read as well. So if you guys feel like going to my Instagram, you can check that out.
Sounds good. And of course, as someone that understands, implementing some changes and doing things for the better of your life, for people out there that are heading into 2020, looking for change, looking to get past maybe some of the trauma they experienced, do you have any tips or advice that people can maybe take away or start working on or focusing on, anything like that?
Absolutely. The biggest turning point in my life is when I started to take personal responsibility. And I used to think that meant blaming yourself. And I was like, I don't want to blame myself for everything I've been through. That's ridiculous. But it really is taking a look at how you start to see life differently. You start to look through different eyes, and you start to see that everything that's happening to you or that you're interacting with is a growth experience, and it's really pointing you back to more truths about you, things that are left unhealed. And it's not that you need to trudge it up and you need to cry over it and you need to make it a big deal and go, to somebody for weeks or months about it. It's not, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It can be really simple. It can be like, oh, okay, let me accept that thing, through that exercise I told you earlier, realizing the good in it, or realizing you can have these epiphanies once you get the hang of being more self-aware. That just shift things pretty quickly, very quickly. But they can, I have a couple of books that I could recommend for sure that would change your life, I'm sure, if you take them seriously and really put the work in. And those books would be A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle and Loving What Is by Byron Katie, or any of her books, actually, because they pretty much say the same thing. They just help you dig a little deeper into knowing yourself better. Her method is highly effective, and it's one of the most powerful tools that I know out there. But I have other resources on my website too. If you want to go to amysatori.com/resources, you can check those out. But let your heart lead you. Let whatever you feel curious about, whatever you feel like, maybe you could study the law of attraction or something, just Google that in YouTube, and it will lead you. It's like your higher self will lead you toward your own tools and your own answers and your evolution. And if you're at unrest and you're wanting improvement, trust me, your guides will definitely take you down your own unique path to your healing. And you found me, so I'm on your path, so thank you.
Awesome words of advice there, and definitely I recommend people to check those books out, especially Eckhart Tolle. I've actually read a few of his books as well, so that is great. And now, Amy, for those out there who are wanting to learn more about you and everything that you offer now, where is it that people can go once more?
They can go to amysatori.com. Click on the Services tab, or you can click on the Satori Show. You could also watch the Satori Show on YouTube, if that's my podcast, or I'm on Spotify or Podbean as the Satori Show as well. Come on Instagram, join the conversation there. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, Amy, once again, thank you so much for taking the time out to sharing your information, sharing your knowledge with us, and also sharing great value with our audience. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, of course. No problem at all. We look forward to next time. And for everyone else out there, please stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Hello, Amy.
Hi.
Hey, just wanted to say awesome show, and you're all set.
Yay, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
You as well. Take care now.
All right, bye.